former NHL goaltender Mike McKenna, who was in the building last night as the Golden Knights hoisted their first franchise Stanley Cup. Yes, a Red Bull in the morning. You probably had a bit of a long night, Mike McKenna. Let's talk about the vibes in the arena. We set off the start like you almost couldn't have scripted it any better. Your captain gets the hat trick. A member of the original Golden Misfits line captures the Conn Smythe, and you do it on home ice. What was it like in that building last night?
Well, first off, if anybody throws me against the boards, I'm going to piss all over myself. But aside from that, Mark Stone was everything you could ever want in a captain last night. And you can really see why he was the targeted player for this team in a lot of ways. He's always been the heartbeat since he got here. And when he took on that captaincy, it took it to another level. But it really went through the entire lineup. I was sitting there in the first period with some friends, and I'm going, this could be 7-0. And you're looking at the odd man rushes just streaming towards Sergei Bobrovsky. And it wasn't even close. And the vibe in that building, really, the moment that the Golden Knights scored their third goal, when Alec Martinez came down the wing and shot and beat Bobrovsky, that's when it started to pop. And then Smith's fourth goal, man, from that point forward, it was like Motorhead loud in that building, man. It was an absolute party from warmups till the end. But that Smith goal sent it into a frenzy.
Yeah, to be expected. I'm sure the party was quite good after as well, Mike. Did the right guy win the Conn Smythe Trophy? I really wrestled with my vote. I ended up going with Jack Eichel. I respect and understand the significance of the goals that Marchessault scored. 10 of the 13 that he put in the back of the net either tied the game or gave the Golden Knights the lead. What would you have done with a ballot had you had one?
I went into the series with Marchessault as my pick, so selfishly, I want to say that he was the guy who deserved it, and you do get it by scoring goals. But I think Marchessault was even a little surprised when it was handed to him because, I mean, it's almost like the last game was completely discounted. Stone's number of points that he put up throughout the entire playoffs with the two-way effort that he put in. I think by the end of last night's game, it probably should have been Jack Eichel. It was close, though, with Vegas. They had a lot of players that contributed so much. There wasn't a clear-cut champion, but I do think that, my tone had probably changed to thinking Jack Eichel was the player that should have hoisted it. But Marchessault with his goals, it's hard to argue it.
I want to wrap this up with a question about Adin Hill, and I'm going multiple choice for you, Mike, to make it easy. Was Adin Hill, A guy who just went on an insane 2-month heater, B, a product of the team in front of him, or C, a guy who just established himself as a number one?
B, because I don't think Adin Hill's shown anybody that he is a true number one in the NHL just yet. I can't wait to see where his contract negotiations go because I think Vegas just proved to themselves in their eyes probably that goaltending doesn't matter a whole lot. And they got Thompson next year for under $1 million. So I think if anything, he'll prove that he can be a solid 1A option in this league. But until he does it over the full course of a season, I think there'll be a hesitancy from any front office.
Mike, just where do the Golden Knights go from here? You've spent a lot of time around that organization. You know the pull and push that they had to try and get this over the finish line and win the Stanley Cup. As aggressive as a front office and organization as you'll see on so many different fronts, from the way they entered the league to how they, shaped their roster since then. Does some of the push, sort of come off of this now because they've captured what they wanted to, or is it going to be pedal down to try and get another one?
No, they're going to go for it again. That's in the back of the jersey. It says always advance, never retreat. They're not done. The person I feel sorry for is William Karlsson. He just won a Stanley Cup, and I feel sorry for him. You know why? Because the original prophecy was Cup in 6, but when Will Karlsson signed his extension with the Vegas Golden Knights, he was told by owner Bill Foley he expected 2 Stanley Cups by the end of that contract. So the pressure's on Wild Bill. If he doesn't produce, he's going to be out of here. But realistically, though, guys, this team's built pretty well for the long haul. I heard you guys before, they'll probably lose Barbashev. They got to figure out what's going to happen in goal, but they are returning most of these players. The question for me is health. Can they stay healthy with, can Mark Stone continue to play at the level he does and others for the next 2-3 years for this window? I think they can, but they're going to have to be able to retool probably a couple years down the road.
Fantastic stuff, Mike. Appreciate you getting up nice and early in the Pacific time zone to join us here, and enjoy the rest of your time in Vegas.